Cancer, what is going on? Welcome to the channel. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to be looking at your energy for the next couple weeks. So let's get into it. Grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab a beverage, sit back and relax. We'll look into what's going on right now for you. We are in Pluto retrograde. So it is bringing up some stuff that we need to change, that we need to transform. And with Pluto moving into Aquarius, it's asking us to really claim the things that we truly authentically want, to be honest with ourselves, to be aware about what is working and what is not, and then making choices accordingly. That can be easier said than done, especially if we have dreams, hopes, wishes around certain aspects of our life. Obviously, these are collective readings, so just take what resonates, use your discernment, leave the rest behind for someone else. This energy clearing is a good time to set your own intention as well. If you have questions that you would like Spirit to answer, definitely offer those up. Open to receive. We'll do a little blessing, cleansing, and then we'll get going with the cards. Okay. All right, Cancer. I bless you with pure love and pure light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is blocking the highest and best messages from coming through. Any fear, doubt, insecurity, lack of worth, lack of value, anger, frustration, pain, grief, sadness. Remove all of that from us right now. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Father God, Guardian Angels, Mama Love. Amen. All right, let's get into it, Cancer. So, boundaries is what I'm hearing. How to have better boundaries. And having better boundaries is really going to allow you to tap into your abundance, what you truly want. I feel like you're dealing with some stuff right now it's not working out how you wanted, how you planned or anticipated, and it's really frustrating. You feel annoyed, you feel overwhelmed, or maybe not even overwhelmed, but you just don't like it. You know, it's leaving a bad taste in your mouth and not really sure how to handle or manage things moving forward. Spirit's asking you to look at the bigger picture. Try to shift your perspective. Answers are going to come when you do, when you see things. It's not just about what you want. It's about how you're navigating it, how you're approaching it, who and what you're trying to collaborate with. Are these partnerships working or not? And that's what Spirit really wants you to look at over these next couple weeks. I'm hearing there's this element of duality that's involved. I like this. Prayers answered. So I'm hearing this duality, right? You're seeing a different side to something or someone. And that feels like that bitter pill I was talking about earlier. I feel like you've really worked hard to put in your best efforts. You're not necessarily seeing that come through quite yet. But with this prayers answered card, I feel like you're moving in that direction. I love this as well, the illusions. You're releasing illusions in the process. And it goes back to what I was saying about that kind of practical approach. Oftentimes, this is hard for water energy. Cancer is a water sign. It deals a lot with our emotion, our intuition, sensing into the more subtle layers of life. And when we do, sometimes we can not confuse, but I don't know, it makes it a little bit more difficult to see the reality, to see the truth. yes, you can maybe feel or pick up when someone is resistant to something or not really vibing in the way that you want them to, and that can be frustrating. But if they're not saying something to you about it, if it's not working, Spirit's saying, like, stop forcing the issue, stop waiting around, crossing your fingers, hoping. So this prayer answered feels a little bit like, I don't know, it could be taken either way. Maybe on the surface, it looks like something that you weren't wanting, hoping, or expecting for, but at the same time, it is bringing in that clarity. It is breaking you free from whatever illusions you've been under. You are what you think. So putting that value back in yourself, instead of waiting around for someone to make a decision or waiting around for them to treat you right, Spirit's saying, like, okay, don't you think you deserve better? Like, don't you think you actually should have something that you want or values you and honors you and supports you? Yeah, I love this. I saw this when I was actually shuffling. It's in you. It's in you to kind of bring about something that is more heart honoring. Green is the color of the heart chakra. So that's kind of that component that you're missing out on. You're seeing someone not take something so seriously anymore. And as much as it disappoints you, as much as it's something that you, again, wish was different, you're also, over these next couple weeks, seeing the lack of intention, the lack of commitment that they put into this. It is clearing away those illusions, but it is forcing you in this energy of the Emperor to take action. This is Aries energy. Aries rules the first house of self-empowerment. So Spirit wants you to empower yourself. I love it too, because these two cards remind me of this same energy of just rising up. You know, we have the Lion. I know Aries is not a lion, so don't get after me on that. But, you know, Lion is Leo energy. Leo is fire sign. It's this value of, like, not being afraid to, like, let that light shine bright, to go discover new opportunities. You don't have to be so structured. You don't have to be so, there's like this part of you that is vacillating back and forth between keeping everything in line, in order, but then at the same time, like, having this very, like, youthful energy, this vibrant spirit, wanting to get out and about, experience and explore new things. But you're waiting. You're waiting on someone or something that really is just, indecisive. I keep hearing indecisive and not communicating with you. So what can you do about that, right? When we're in those positions in relationship situations, in my opinion, we can only, like, work with the energy that we have. So if someone doesn't want to talk about something, then really it is up to you to make a decision, especially when it's not really working out how you want it to. Someone doesn't want to give and invest as much into the relationship as you do. I feel like you're doing your part, but there's also this part of you that's losing interest. Yeah, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of heartbreak. I feel like some things have been done that haven't been talked about, and so it's making it hard to kind of understand. Conversation is not a strong suit in this dynamic at all. Maybe you feel like you can't find the truth. Maybe you feel like if you ask this person or find out more information into a situation, you're gonna, quote unquote, get in trouble, is what I hear. But again, that ties back to that empowerment we were talking about earlier. Not being afraid of who you are, what you do sense, what you do feel. Nine of Pentacles is on the bottom of the deck. So really putting that stock in your power, in what you bring to the table. Not being afraid to go your own way. Not being afraid to find out the information that you need. Because honestly, as we see, it's going to lift this illusion. It's going to lift this idea of, you know, it's like in the future. That's what I keep feeling with this. Like, it will get better in the future. It will get better in the future. But really, you're at this point where it's affecting your happiness and your well-being in the present moment. Maybe you've known this person for a long time. Maybe you're giving them a lot of benefit of the doubt. And so you're waiting. You're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting. But that's the thing. You've been waiting for a long time. And now it's starting to feel annoying. Like, you're just looking at all this and you're like, why? Why can't it be the other way? Why can't, I don't know. Like, I feel like this person likes you, but they don't. Like, it feels like a little bit of a love-hate relationship, or, you know, a love-hate dynamic where there's aspects, they don't want to lose you, but they don't want to invest enough into you, if that makes sense. And that's, again, where this happiness is being blocked. Like, let's start over, let's start fresh. Maybe you tried to start fresh with someone. I'm hearing situations change and you tried to start fresh and it's just not panning out in the way that you had anticipated. Instead, it's actually bringing up more pain, more grief, more sadness. And I do feel like this prayer answered is heavily attached to seeing this situation clearer, saying something, not being afraid to stand up for yourself with this Tower energy. Scorpio energy is connected to Pluto. Pluto rules Scorpio, not being afraid to make those changes. Recognizing that even if for a minute you have to set aside what you want, in the long run, it's going to better serve you. Because you're coming out in this way where you're feeling way more grounded. I feel like the shift in energy, the Tower moment, as unpleasant as it feels, at the same time, it's a breath of fresh air. It's a relief. It's a relief from what you've been waiting for. It's a relief from recognizing that someone's either been lying to you or manipulating the situation, not being honest, not having those honest conversations with you. There is fear around what this conversation would look like. In a lot of ways, talking about how you feel would bring a little bit more happiness and harmony to the situation. So Spirit's asking you to maybe have this conversation before things fall apart, because that energy doesn't feel good either. There's a part of you that feels like you don't deserve, and that's where the hesitancy is. Maybe you've made some choices that you're not proud of. Maybe you wish things would have worked out differently. But this is a lot about your own empowerment. It's about how you show up in your relationships. Even if we're embarrassed, even if we feel stupid, right? Like sometimes, especially in love dynamics, this does feel like a love reading. That's not going to be applicable for everyone. Take it how it fits. You know, but it can be embarrassing, right? It can be humbling to have a conversation with someone about where the relationship's at or what's going on, and to have them not be on the same page. And that's what it feels like. There's fear that it's not, you guys aren't on the same page, that you're not really in the same place. But I think that some of that is misinterpreted, is what I'm hearing. Some of that is part of the illusion. Sometimes if we don't say anything and we keep letting life play out and holding on to resentments or frustrations, it just makes it worse. And then we do end up in these tower moments, right? We end up where like the energy gets so congested, all it can do is combust. And that's kind of where you're at right now. Spirit is asking you to approach things a little bit differently with this new life energy. I'm hearing should or get off the pot. So this value, and I think it's valuable for you as well as whomever you're dealing with. Having those honest conversations, super challenging because there is a lot of vulnerability involved. I do see, you're going to see changes within this. I see two things. It's like, if you have this conversation, more clarity is coming out and it feels good. It feels a little bit more peaceful. But if it keeps moving in this trajectory, then you are getting this tower moment. Regardless of which path you choose, there is going to be some release at the end of this. It's not going to be, I do feel peace. It just is dependent on whether the peace is coming from a big blowout, a big fight, a big argument, a negative situation, or if it's coming from having a conversation. There might be some stormy waters. There might be, and I think that's the biggest fear. It's fear of the unknown, fear of how it's all going to fare out, especially if you don't feel like this person is as invested in you as you are in them. But again, it's basically telling you not to like sink to low vibey energy, right? Don't be too immature around this. Because with this Emperor, I do feel like you see things very clearly. You understand the dynamic. But sometimes it's very painful even just admitting it to the other person or to the or being aware of the situation, being honest with ourselves. But Spirit does definitely want to answer this prayer for you in terms of giving you a little more forward momentum, allowing you to really empower yourself and not be afraid, even if it doesn't work out exactly how you wanted it to. Again, the tower energy happens when we're not dealing with shit, like when we're either turning a blind eye or we just don't want it to, we just don't want anything to kind of like fall apart. So we're working really hard to keep everything together. It either happens at that moment or Spirit's saying, you can have a conversation. You can try to find a little more balance and harmony in this dynamic so both of you feel happy and peaceful. So there's honesty and truth coming forward and it's not leaving you hanging, because that's the overarching energy that I'm getting for you over these next few weeks is like you feel like you're being left hanging. You're not being paid attention to. And it feels like annoying, right? Like it's bothering you because it shouldn't be this way in context. Like that's how it feels, or that's how you're looking at it. It shouldn't be this way. So why am I feeling this way? But again, don't just sit and stew on it. Having a conversation, I think, is going to give you way better results. Than keeping it all pent up inside and having this tower moment. So Cancer, I really hope this helped. I hope it helped give you insight, direction into what's going on for you, how to better navigate. Thank you for joining me always, especially if you've made it this far in the video. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear how these readings resonate. I also love to support and give as much love as I can everywhere. So I hope you have a fabulous few weeks. Lots of love and blessings your way.